you to find me? Will you be my nightingale? Sing to me, I know you're there. You could be my sanity, so bring me peace, sing me to sleep. Say you'll be my nightingale.
Hi, I'm Sylvia Adome, and I would like to interview you on what art means to you. And are you ready to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Question one. Oh, tell the audience. your
Hi,
name.
I'm Holly Officer, and I am a junior here at Whitman, and I'm a vocal performance major.
Thank you for your time. How would you define art?
I think art is defined as the most vulnerable expression of human emotions. Because if art is done correctly, be it via like painting or crafts or writing or theater or performance, it always has an emotional tie to the audience, and that's how I would define it.
I totally agree. Yesterday I met Mr. Kazi Joshua, who's the dean for Whitman, and he told me that I was telling him about how my mom doesn't agree with me doing theater and all that, and he said I should try to explain to her how art fits the soul, and how you explain to that just reminded me of what he said. What's your perspective about art here in America versus the world?
I'm not very learned in art outside of America. Besides, I mean, like basic composers, like, you know, Beethoven and Mozart and all those things that we've learned about in music history. And what I learned there, if we're talking about musical context, is America doesn't really have its own form of art originally. It's like a melting pot of art from all around the world. So I think for America, art is a combination of everything, and we're just taking and pulling and borrowing from different cultures and experiences. As where if you went like to Italy, it would be very based in Italian style, or, you know, French, very French style, but it's not, there's nothing quite like American style, if that makes sense. It's like a combination.
It totally makes sense. Would you like to share about any component of art that you're interested in or you're currently working on?
I'm currently working on musical theater. If that is my favorite form of art. And the reason I like it is because it's the perfect mixture of emotions, of music, of storytelling, of humor, if it's done right. And I think that if you're wanting something that kind of hits all the bases, for what I like, musical theater is that's the answer to all those questions. My favorite musical theater artist, his name is Jonathan Larson. He was the composer and the writer of the musical Rent, and he unfortunately passed away the day before Rent hit its off-Broadway preview. He didn't know that it was going to become like a cult classic, because it like skyrocketed. It won all of these Tony Awards, and it's still super popular.
Yeah.
And he didn't know that it was going to be so good because he died right before. But you could still sense his entire soul being poured into this one show. And I think that that's the most beautiful testament. And art is just a way to like not only allow the audience see another person's perspective into something that could be mutually, like, everyone knows about love or everyone knows about loss, you know, but to see how this one person views it and to learn a little bit about them, but also learn a little bit about yourself. I think that's why I love musical theater so much.
Thank you. And when did you realize your passion for musical theater?
When I was like 6. Like I was so young. I was so young, but I was never able to do theater because I was raised in a very small community. There was no theater. My parents were against it, kind of like yours. And I was watching like old Disney movies, which if you break them down to their core, they're just Broadway musicals, but they're animated.
Mm-hmm.
And I fell in love with Disney movies, and I would perform them all around the house. And then it transferred from Disney to the Phantom of the Opera, and then Les Mis, and then Hairspray, and then Rent, and then all of these other musicals. I was like, oh my goodness, it's just Disney, but music. And then I was like, this is it. And if I could do anything in the world, I would want to be a musical. And I never thought that I could. So until I came to Whitman, and they're like, you could totally do that. You could be a music major, like do it. So I tried it, and now I'm going to pursue musical theater. Like it's actually happening. So crazy.
Yeah. And bravo.
Thank you.
Okay, what do you think is your vocal type?
I'm a soprano.
Okay.
I'm a recovering soprano.
A recovering
I'm a
soprano.
recovering soprano.
Would you like to share with the audience why you say you are a recovering soprano?
So currently I'm struggling with a vocal condition. Some can say it's called vocal paralysis, but it's when little nodules form on the vocal flaps, which is why my voice is kind of like breathy and wheezy right now. It's from misuse or stress or just vocal fatigue. And I do a lot of singing and a lot of preparation for this program, and I pushed myself a bit too far.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, and so now I can't really sing like I would like to. Luckily for me, it should be reversible if everything is. It should be reversible. But yeah.
It will be reversible.
Yeah.
Because of technological mishaps, when I was interviewing Polly, some of the videos were cut off, and I'm gonna repeat the last two questions that I asked her that she well explained. I'll try to the best of my abilities. Polly about her aspirations in life, and she said she aspires that she'll get an opportunity to go to graduate school for her vocal performance studies, and also she wants to be part of the Broadway musical theater performance in New York City. And when she retires, or when she has experienced her life as a musician or an actress, she would like to be a professor where she would teach people about music. Also, the last question that I asked her is if she was given an opportunity to change the world, how will she do it? And she said if she was given an opportunity to change the world, she will ensure that she will make music accessible to everyone.